Con of the Cob!
Con of the Cob! 2017. It's catching on. But I am
Like a
here,
virus.
like a virus, actually, or like a pest.
Ooh. Nice segue, sir.
But I am here with
Michael McFarland.
Michael McFarland. What's going on, man?
Well, we're here showing off the game Pests, which is going to be shipping this month. So
Get out of here.
last year at Con on the Cob, we were still running playtests of it. We were talking about, like, we've got this game in development. We're planning on taking it to Kickstarter sometime beginning of next year.
You were rocking and rolling on the old guitar.
That as well. And so the Kickstarter was successful, far more successful than we expected it to be. And
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your part in helping promote it. It's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
And now we've got the real game that we're showing off, and we'll have actual copies of it, a pallet worth showing up within the next few days, and it'll be shipping out like within the next week or so.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, walk me through a little bit here of what people can expect of the new Pests game.
Okay, so the idea behind the game is each player...
Fill me in one more time about Pests.
All right, Pests is a game where each player plays as an exterminator that specializes in the elimination of one of 6 different types of pests. Ooh, and the lights just came on, and choirs of angels sang. So... If you're the yellow exterminator, you're trying to get rid of the buzzing bugs. If you're the green exterminator, you're going after the creepy crawlies. If you're the orange exterminator, you're trying to get rid of the heinous house guests. So each player is trying to work in this house that is built up of these modular tiles. So everyone tries to build the house to their own advantage at the beginning of the game. Everyone's trying to capture their pest queen, which is the big nasty beastie that wanders around the house causing trouble. They're trying to exterminate their little pests, which are represented by these cubes. And they're trying to seal their nest room, which is the one that's color-coded to their color of pests. The first person to do all of those things wins the game. So in the Kickstarter, one thing that we added in, it was originally going to be an expansion, but we did well enough. We put it as a high stretch goal. We were like, there's no way we're going to hit the stretch goal. We hit the stretch goal. We also added a cooperative and a solo play mode that you can all work together to try to exterminate all the pests in the house, or you can play just against the game itself.
So how does solo play work?
So, it adds this deck of cards, which is called the Queen deck, that the game will play against the player at semi-random intervals. So, these 2 dice, so this die is called the Queen die. It has 4 directions, down, left, up, right, and 2 actions, which are summon and populate. And the game also comes with the D6, which is used for just a few randomized actions. So you roll both of those together at the beginning of the turn to determine what your queen does and whether or not one of those cards gets played against you. So the cards have different effects. So it's essentially a simple analog AI that the game is playing against you to try to make your life as difficult as possible. And once this deck is depleted, if you have not successfully exterminated all of the pests in the house and taken care of everything, you lose. So there's a clock that's counting down as these cards get played against you one by one. So they both make your life more difficult and they take away the time you have to beat the game.
Interesting, very interesting. So we have pests.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing? How has your Con of the Con experience been so far?
It's been fantastic. I mean, I've been running around. I stage manage here. I handle a lot of the entertainment. I'm also a performer, so I was playing music over in the con suite. The party last night that we had in the room that you can see down there was fantastic. We had Worm Quartet, Devo Spice, and 2D6 all performing, which they're all fantastic. You know, nerdy comedy music acts. Which then transitioned into an impromptu karaoke event that we were just pulling karaoke songs off YouTube and having people sign up. Because we already had a projector, we had the sound system, we're like, alright, so what do we do now that the musical acts are done? Well, let's see. People aren't ready to go home yet, so let's just keep the evening going. So my voice is slightly shot from not just yelling, Con of the Cob!
Con of the Cob!
A lot, but also from playing music and talking to people and you know, running karaoke night and parties and just, like, interacting with all of the amazing people here at this event. So, yeah.
So, did you do any karaoke last night?
I did, in fact.
What did you sing?
I sang 2 songs. I sang Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots, and I sang Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin. So I
Good
you know,
choice,
covered
good
covered
choice.
a broad range of styles there.
And I also heard you're going to be doing live performance on Sunday.
Yes, I will be playing in the Con Suite at 1 p.m. and actually this evening as part of the Oddmall Band, which we may be renaming the Cobbs for this event. We'll be playing in that same room this evening to kick off the festivities.
Will people be throwing corn on stage for you? Get it because the Cobbs.
I was gonna say I might have to go see if I can. Now is just like frozen corn, is that acceptable? Like, you know, right out of the bag.
I mean, they may be kind of.
Would candy corn be more or less preferred by the audience? Because I know it's a very polarizing subject. Not everyone's into candy corn.
That's
Like,
true. So you know what? Leave a comment. What
Would
kind of corn should they throw
Would
on
you rather
stage?
have real corn or candy corn thrown at you from the stage?
Leave a comment below.
People want to know. Hi.
Hi. Only a con on the cob, man. So, you got pests.
We got pests.
So, is there anything down the pike you can maybe like peel the envelope back?
Absolutely. So we have 2 games that we have almost entirely play tested, and one of them we're prepping to get ready to take to Kickstarter early next year.
Okay.
That game is called Flippin' Fines Diner. It's designed by Gerald King, who you might have seen in the background here setting stuff up.
Yes.
So he's the designer behind that. Todd Jacob Bison, who did the art for Pests, is also the artist on that game. So that is a set collection memory game where the players all play as short order cooks trying to put together recipes from tiles that you flip over, and you're trying to remember where you keep all the ingredients. So set collection memory game. And then the next one down the pipeline is Heroes of Epic City Volume 1 Emergency Generator, which is a real-time cooperative superhero dice game.
Say that 10 times fast.
Real-time cooperative superhero dice game. 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 4 is enough.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to eat up all of the airtime.
That's true. That's true.
But I think the point was proved well enough.
And what is this game about?
So it's a real-time cooperative superhero dice game.
Well, okay. I gotcha.
You play as a team of superheroes that are trying to resolve emergencies all around the globe. So you're all working together. Well, you're not all working on the same emergency all at once. Only 2 superheroes can work on each of them. So if you think of it like in terms of the Marvel Comic Universe movies, like all of these heroes had their own movies. Like, you know, you had the Thor movie, you had the Iron Man movie, you had all
Thor
those.
Ragnarok.
I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's fantastic. It's probably this week I'll be making it to see that. And the soundtrack by Mark Mothersbaugh, who's from around this area as well. So, you know, got that local tie as well. But if you think in terms of that, that's what the first stages are like. You have at most 2 heroes working on any one emergency.
So kind of like phase 1 of the Marvel project.
Exactly. So after you manage to successfully resolve, assuming you manage to successfully resolve enough of those emergencies, you move on to one super emergency where everyone teams up, and then 2 boss battles in order to win the game. The kicker is, though, this is all happening in 30-second sprints. So there's a timer that you hit. And then everyone starts like frantically rolling their dice and trying to resolve the emergencies with the results of those dice. And once the 30-second timer goes off, you have to stop, and new emergencies happen. So there are these randomly generated emergencies that come from these 3 stacks of cards, and you're trying to stay ahead of the like global creep of disasters that are happening while resolving those. So it's a pretty quick one. It takes about 15 minutes to play all the time.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
That's not why I hate you, Andy. Con in the Cob!
Got the job! That was the legend himself, Mr. Andy Hop. We'll talk to him in a little bit.
The man, the myth, the legend, Andy Hop.
The Grand Poobah himself. But anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, so that's the idea behind Emergency Generator. So those are the 2 that we have in the immediate pipeline. Flippin' Fine Designer, we're just working on finalizing the artwork, and we'll be taking that to Kickstarter early next year. And then probably sometime midsummer, we'll be looking at getting Emergency Generator out there. So, and that's only the first in the series of Heroes of Epic City games, because Gerald, who I mentioned, he's the one who he's not actually here. I'm just gesturing in the area that he probably was earlier. You know, I had come up with this set of 6 heroes that just, they had basic elemental properties that their strengths were in the areas of fire, water, strength, intelligence, speed, and weather. And he came up with entire character bios, backstories, descriptions, all of that. It was like, this is way too good just to use on one game. We need to make a bigger universe out of this. So we decided that it's going to be just Chapter 1, Volume 1 of the Heroes of Epic City series of games. So there will be more coming down the pipeline in that series with those characters as well.
Well, fantastic. Well, where can people pick up your game?
So games.spontaneouslycombustible.com is the place that you can go. There's a web store there that you can pre-order Pest, which is shipping within the next week or so. So you'll be able to get your copy of that super soon. And you'll be able to sign up on the mailing list there, find out when all of the other games are going to be going to Kickstarter and all of that. And you can also find us on Facebook. Just search for Spontaneously Combustible Games. Same thing on Twitter. I think it's SponComs Games is our handle there. SPONCOM Games. So Spontaneously Combustible SponCon Games, and then SponCon Game Co. on Instagram. So
Gotcha. And we'll have a link below for you to check all
right
that
down,
out.
somewhere around there.
Actually, a little bit farther down because
down
this will
there.
be all the video right
Below
here.
the table.
The comments will be all the way down there. All about corn for some reason.
All about corn. Candy corn versus frozen corn. Which would you rather have thrown at you?
But thank you so much for being on the show
it was my
once
pleasure.
again.
Thank you so much for having me.
And from all of us here at Dice Squad, continuing our coverage of
Cut in the Cob
2017, this is Marshall Dice, also known as Adam Campbell, with
Michael
the
McFarland.
awesome, the incredible, the rockin'.
Woo, Michael McFarland. That's a lot of superlatives.
And stay tuned, guys.